Hey everyone, welcome back to Pure Stoic Truth. Thank you for being here, your presence means everything. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell, so you never miss a moment of real talk grounded in timeless wisdom. In our last video, we exposed the subtle signs of betrayal in 6 behaviors only unfaithful women display. Watch out. But today, we take a turn, a softer, deeper one. Because sometimes, the woman who once felt distant, cold, or confusing may still love you, even if her pride won't say it out loud. So let me ask you, have you ever felt like she's gone, only to sense her presence in silence? Why does she hold back when her heart wants to reach out? And what's the one truth about love that most men never see until it's too late? Let's dive in. She misses you. She thinks about you far more often than she'll ever admit. But will she say it? No, not because she doesn't care, but because her pride simply won't let her. Have you ever experienced this strange distance? One moment she's affectionate, the next she's cold. She says nothing, but you feel everything. That tension, it's real. Her emotions are in conflict with her ego, and this is where Stoicism enters the conversation. Today, we're unraveling that quiet inner storm, the invisible tug-of-war between a woman's emotions and her pride. And once you learn how to read between the silences, you won't be able to ignore what you've always sensed. Women, by nature, are emotionally wired, but they are also highly calculated with how and when they express those emotions. She might lie in bed at night staring at her phone, heart racing, wondering what you're doing, fingers hovering over the keyboard, then deleting the message before it's ever sent. Why? Because vulnerability terrifies her. She's afraid of chasing someone who's no longer chasing her. Society has hardwired her to believe, if he truly wants me, he'll come to me. So even if her heart aches for your voice, she'll bite her tongue. Here's the twist. That silence, it's not rejection. It's a test. She's waiting, watching, wondering if you feel the space growing, if you'll close the gap. And the moment you stop chasing, that's when she starts doubting. Ever notice how some women pull away only to pop up again the moment you fall quiet? That's no coincidence. That's psychology at work. But don't panic. You don't need to become a mind reader. We're getting closer to the core of it. Why she won't admit she still misses you, even if she thinks about you constantly. Confessing it feels like giving up control. Think of how often you hear the phrase, "I don't chase, I attract." That isn't just a trendy quote, it's an identity. In her mind, if she's the first to say "I miss you," she's giving you power. And in that power dynamic, she fears being taken for granted, being left exposed, or worse, being the only one still holding on. So instead of speaking, she stays silent. And the war continues between her longing and her pride. Here's a glimpse behind that silence. She wakes up. No text from you. That mix of confusion and disappointment starts to brew. She checks your old messages. She scrolls your socials, searching for some kind of sign. But still, she doesn't reach out because she's convinced, if he still wants me, he'll come back. But as that silence stretches on, her questions grow louder. What happens next in her mind when the silence continues just a little too long? Let's explore that in part 2. But as we saw earlier, silence isn't always rejection, it's often a battlefield. And now in this next phase, the quiet turns into tension. The real emotional conflict begins when the distance she created starts to echo back, when that emotional gap grows wider and your silence holds strong. Her mind wired for connection starts spinning. She begins to crave reassurance. At first, she play it cool. "I'm fine," she tells herself. "I don't need him." But the longer the days drag on, the less that little lie feels true. And then out of the blue you receive a message. Maybe it's a casual "hey." Maybe it's a random question like, "Did you see that wild news today?" Why? Now? Because despite her pride, she simply couldn't hold out forever. And if you've ever gotten one of those "hey stranger" texts after weeks of complete silence, congratulations. You just won the psychological waiting game. But what should you do next? We'll cover that soon. For now, let's address a truth that might seem strange but is backed by hard psychology. The woman who ignores you the most may actually be the one who feels the most for you. Sounds backwards, right? But here's why it makes perfect sense. Asterisk for many women, admitting they have feelings means giving up emotional leverage. If she confesses she misses you, there's a risk you might not feel the same. Or worse, she fears you'll take her for granted. That's when the infamous push and pull game begins. She wants connection, but she refuses to be the one to break first. And if she's been hurt before, her pride becomes a wall of armor, strong, stubborn, and unyielding. So, why does she hesitate to reach out? Inside her mind, the questions swirl. If I message first, does that make me look weak? What if he doesn't respond? What if he's already moved on, talking to someone else? And worst of all, what if I mean less to him than he means to me? That fear, that brutal, unspoken fear, is enough to silence even the loudest longing. Let's be clear, this isn't just about romance. Ever had a female friend or coworker suddenly go cold, distant, even indifferent for no clear reason? Same pattern. It's not just her feelings at play, it's her ego. And now comes the real turning point, when her pride becomes her prison. The more she wants to reach out, the more she resists. It becomes a battle of sheer willpower. She says to herself, "I won't text him first. I'll wait." Day 1 nothing. Now frustration starts to set in. Day 2, still silence. Now she's wondering, why hasn't he checked in? Is he even thinking about me? This emotional tug-of-war intensifies. Her emotions whisper, "I miss him." Her pride shouts back, if he cared, he'd reach out first. And so she stays frozen, paralyzed by fear, bound by ego. This is why many women suffer in silence, why they'd rather feel pain than risk looking like they're chasing. They activate what I call the "I don't care" defense mechanism. Ever heard a woman say, "I don't care," while her every action screams the opposite? That's not confusion. That's protection. But what happens when that protection begins to crack? In the final part, we'll uncover the signs that prove, without a doubt, she still loves you, even if her pride won't let her say it. Stay with me, because what comes next will change how you see her forever. Earlier, we uncovered how her pride often stops her from reaching out first, even when her heart wants to. Now let's explore what happens when that silent tension hits its peak and the tables finally turn. Sometimes, pretending not to care feels safer than admitting she does. That's why, instead of reaching out, she throws herself into distractions. She dives into work, spends hours scrolling through social media, or fills her calendar with hangouts and laughter. She posts a selfie with a glowing smile, not for herself, but for you. A performance aimed at showing she's unbothered. Behind closed doors, though, she's asking her friends, "Do you think he's over me?" She's replaying conversations in her head, analyzing your silence like it's a mystery to solve. But deep down, she's still waiting for you to cave first. And if you've ever seen a woman go from "I don't care" to suddenly blowing up your phone with texts and calls, congratulations. You've just witnessed the moment when her pride finally surrendered to emotion. That's when everything changes. So, what should you do when her pride won't let her admit she cares? Here's the answer. Stay centered. Stay stoic. A high-value man doesn't chase validation. He doesn't lose himself in emotional chaos. He remains composed, grounded, calm, because he knows that real strength is in stillness, not reaction. Lose your composure, and you hand over your power. But remain unshaken, and suddenly you control the dynamic. Here's how to flip the script. 1. Don't chase, hold your frame. When she pulls back, don't panic. Give her the space she's creating. Let curiosity be your ally. Let her feel the absence, because that's when she begins to question her own silence. 2. Respond with calm indifference. If she reaches out, don't ignore her, but don't overwhelm her either. Stay cool, steady, confident, no neediness, no trying too hard. A woman values what she earns, not what's handed over too easily. 3. Maintain your own life. Stay focused on your path. Keep growing. Keep thriving. When she sees you're still moving forward without her, that's when doubt sets in. Why isn't he chasing me? Did I misread him? Is he moving on? And that's the moment she re-enters the picture. 4. Welcome her return with strength, not resentment. A stoic man doesn't punish. He doesn't hold grudges. If she comes back, greet her calmly as if nothing happened. No accusations, no emotional outbursts. Just calm, masculine presence. That's when she realizes something powerful. She never truly had emotional control over you. Because here's the ultimate truth. Women respect men they can't emotionally sway. If you can withstand her pride, her silence, and her tests without losing yourself, she won't just respect you, she admire you. And eventually, she'll be the one who can't stop thinking about you. So if dating sometimes feels like a chess match, you're not imagining things. But now, you've got the winning strategy. Next time you feel her pulling away, but deep down you sense she still cares. Don't chase, don't panic, stay poised. Stay powerful. Let her come to you, because she will, when you've mastered the art of the silent game. And if this insight hit home, make sure to subscribe to Pure Stoic Truth, because up next, we're diving into 10 signs she secretly thinks you're attractive, but won't admit it. Trust me, you won't want to miss it.